Good morning and happy May. It's our last month of school. Although it doesn't feel like our normal last month of school, that's okay. We're going to get through this. And today I'm going to talk to you about some consonant letters and how they can make more than one sound. So we're going to talk about the letters C and G. Commonly, you know that when we see C, it says a hard k sound, and G, g. But believe it or not, and I know some of you know this, they can also make a couple other sounds, which we call soft sounds. So we're going to go through and learn about why and when they make those soft sounds. So I'm going to go to the corner, and first we're going to begin with consonant letter C. We know it makes a hard sound, like in the word cat, but it can also make a soft sound, like in the word city. And it's almost making the same sound as the letter S. It's making a soft C sound. Okay, so C can say both k and s. And an example of when it can say s is like in the word city. Now we're going to look at the letter G. So we know G can make a hard sound, like in the word goat. G, g. Notice I'm not saying g, it's g. So it can make a hard sound like in goat, but it can also make a soft sound like in the word giraffe, which is the same sound that the letter J makes, J. So the hard sound for G is G. The soft sound for G is J, like in giraffe. So now I want to talk about why our letters will make those soft sounds. What is the rule that tells us when it's going to make a hard or soft sound? So I'm going to pull up the reading sheet and you can do the same. And it says soft C and G. The letters C and G will make a soft sound when they are followed by the letters blank, blank, and blank. Well, before I put those letters up there, let's go ahead and take a look at the soft C sound first. So I am going to grab my pen first, or pencil if you have one, and I'm going to first go ahead and I'm going to trace, or I'm going to write the letter C, and I'm going to say S, S, S. I made the soft sound when I wrote it, because that's the focus of today. We're talking about the soft sound it makes, so it can say S. Now I'm going to grab my highlighter, and I want to find out, which letters have to come after it in order for it to say S. So I'm noticing here there's a C and an E, a C and an E, a C and an E. But in the next row, there's a C and an I, a C and an I, a C and an I. And in the final row, C and Y. Oh, so that means that if it's going to make a soft sound, then the letters E, I, and Y will have to come after the C. So we're going to highlight that, but our C will make a soft sound if the letters E, I, and Y come after it. So let's focus on that. We've got S, S. I'm going to actually make my highlighter just a little bit smaller. S. So I know that it's saying S because there's a C followed by an E. The next row, there's a C followed by an I, so I know it's going to say S, S, S. Now I see a C followed by a Y, so I know that that C is going to make a soft sound. S, S, S. Okay, now I know why it's saying S, because the letters E, I, and Y are coming after it. So let's go ahead and practice reading some of these words. So the first one, I know that the C and E is going to say, or that the E is making the C say S. So S, nt, ending blend. Cent. The penny is 1 cent. And our next one, this is also sort of acting like a magic E. This E is doing a lot of work. It's telling us that that C is going to make a soft sound and that I is going to say its name. Ice, nice. My students are very nice. And the next one, I see a C followed by an E. I know that that C is going to make a sound. I also see a double L, which tells me, oh, that's the floss rule. That E is going to say eh. So it's kind of why our letters are so important and we need to know how they work together so we can read words correctly. So this is going to say cell, like a cell phone, or we have cells in our bodies. In the next word, I have the I, and again, the I is telling me that C is saying a soft sound. Inch, ending blend, cinch. If something is really easy, you might say, that was a cinch. Okay, we have a two-syllable word right here, and sometimes it helps if I just do a little bit of a pick line. So we've got pen and then soul. Put those two syllables together, we have pencil. Our keyword is coming up, and I'm going to draw a line. Oh, so let's see. Hold on. Oh, sorry about that. We're going to see that I is saying sit, and then this Y is making the E sound. City, city. And the next word, we have that consonant LE at the end. Again, this Y is telling me that the C is going to make a soft sound. And to make things more tricky, we know Y can make four sounds. Y here is going to say I. So cycle, cycle. A frog goes through a life cycle. Okay, we have fan, and then the C. The Y in this word is saying E. Fancy, fancy, and then look over here for those of you who enjoy Fancy Nancy. Again, we know that this C is soft because it's followed by a Y. So, luckily, when we're trying to figure out when the G is making a soft sound, saying J, it's really the same rule. The letters E, I, and Y are going to make it soft or say J. So first, we're going to go ahead and make that soft G sound, but I'm going to not write the J, I'm going to write a G. J, J. Sorry about that, guys. J. So these G's are going to say J, okay? Now, same rule applies. We know it's going to make a soft sound when E, I, or Y comes after it. J, 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 J. So hopefully on your reading sheet you have highlighted those spelling patterns and also said J. You know, E, I, and Y make that G say J. So let's go ahead and practice reading some of these. Our first word, gem. Gem is like on a ring, maybe a certain diamond or piece of jewelry, a gemstone. Okay, so again, we have a magic E also making this G say J. The A will say its name, stage, stage. Performers are on the stage. Oh, we have a bossy ER saying germ. You all have to be very careful right now because germs are spreading. So we wash our hands. So the next one also has a bossy R, we know the I is making G say the soft sound, giraffe, which is our keyword, giraffe. Our next word, gin, and then a bossy ER, jur. And this one's a double whammy because this G is also followed by an E. So both G's in this word are saying J, ginger. And our next word, magic. A magician can make things appear and disappear. Okay, so in this example, we have a Y followed by a G. Again, it's making it soft, but this Y is actually making the short I sound. Jim. Next word, same thing, ip, jip. Maybe if Miss Snyder was passing out M&Ms and the person next to you got a big handful and then you only got like 2, you might say, hey, I got gypped. And then our last one, the Y in this word is saying E. So dingy, dingy. If you've had a shirt for a long time and it's kind of like the colors are fading, you might say the shirt's dingy. So again, we know that our C and our G will make these soft sounds when the letters E, I, and Y come after them. That's so important. So another thing, and I think a lot of you kind of already know this, but we're going to talk about our best bet order for writing these sounds. So now if we were in class and I said, please write all of the ways you know how to spell S, you would begin with your most common way, which is S. Bear with me as I write with my finger. So S, followed by our new spelling, which would be C. And then the final way is our floss rule. Short vowel marker, S, S. So those are going to be the 3 ways that you know how to spell S. Our most common way is S by itself, then C, and then the reason short vowel marker SS goes last is because it's the floss rule. We typically see that at the end of a word. Now, our best bet order for spelling J, typically J, and then G. Those are our best bet orders for spelling J, okay? Although you know C and G can also make hard sounds too, okay? So a lot of this is going to come down to practice and learning which words have the C and which ones have S or which ones have J and which ones have G. I am not going to do the writing words with you. You can do that at home with your families. But what I want to do is actually go down, and I've got a bunch of little note cards right here with some spellings on them. So you can see we have CI, CA, CY, CU, CE, and CO. So I want you to practice saying the sounds that these cards would make. I'm going to look for the ones that have the E, the I, and the U. So there's I, there's, oh, the E, the I, and the Y. Y, and then E. Those spellings, those vowels are telling me that that C is going to make a soft sound, okay? So this one will say S. This spelling would say S. Now, this spelling with an A, like in cat, this is going to make a hard sound. So you will say K. So we have a Y. We know if a Y is coming after the letter C, it's going to make it soft. So this card, S, S, K, S. Again, we have a U here. When a U comes after our C, that's going to make it hard. So K. We have an E after C. Again, that will make it say a soft sound. And now we have an O after C. So that's going to make it hard, like in caught. So notice when we have the vowels A, U, and O, our letters C and G will be hard. They will say K or G. But if the E, the I, or the Y is coming after it, it's going to make a soft sound. So the same thing, I'm going to pull up our G cards. And I'm again going to look for the ones that have the E, the I, and the Y, because I know those letters are making my G soft, saying J. So looking at the first card, I know that this Y is making G say J. The A will keep it hard, G. The I will make it soft, J. The O will keep it hard, G. The E will make it soft, J. And the U will keep it hard, G, like in gum. So I'm going to come back to U. So that is the rule for knowing when it is soft or hard G and C. Remember, if you want it to make, if it's going to make a soft sound, the letters E, I, and Y need to come after it, okay? And the hard ones will keep A, O, and U. Remember, the soft C says S, and the soft G says J. Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed learning about soft C and G.